In this video, I'd like to look at some of the most common shortcuts used for doing dynamic editing inside your sequence. As we already know, there are many actions and tasks that we can perform using the UI buttons, such as editorial functions, insert, override, replace, setting our in and our out points by clicking on the respective buttons. We can also go to our drop-down menu where we can access and perform the same actions such as insert and overwrite, and going to the mark menu to set our mark in, our mark outs, and so on. More often though, using shortcuts while creating your editorial work will make you a more efficient editor. The first hotkeys I will talk about are your playback hotkeys. The typical JKL workflow is available inside of Smoke, meaning if I click the L key, I start to play my sequence forward. If I hit the K key, I stop the playback. If I hit the J key, we play it backwards. This is true for both the sequence and the source view, depending upon which viewer is focused at the time. If you want to play forward or backwards in different speed increments, you can repeatedly hit the L or the J key, depending upon the direction you want the playback to go. If I hit the L key once, I start my playback. I hit it repeatedly, you'll notice that over here we get an indication of the speed. Hitting the K key will stop. Same goes for the J key once again. I hit the J key, I start playing backwards, I hit the J key again, I start playing back in twice the speed, and 3 times, and 4 times, and so on. K once again stops the playback. The spacebar will also allow you to play back your footage. By hitting it once, it'll go forward. By hitting it again, you stop. Holding the Shift key and hitting the spacebar allows you to play backwards. You can use your left and right arrow keys to navigate frame by frame going forward or backwards. The right arrow key moves you forward a frame, the left arrow key moves you back a frame. Holding the Shift key and using your left and arrow keys allows you to navigate in 10 frame increments backwards or forwards. The up and down arrow keys allow you to jump and navigate to the transition cuts for each one of the clips in your sequence. You can obviously just click on any clip in the sequence to select it, and holding the Command key or the Shift key will allow you to select multiple clips inside the sequence. If you want to select all the media in your sequence, you hold the Command key and hit the A key. To deselect everything, hold Command Shift and hit A, and you will deselect everything. To create a cut in a clip, bring your current time positioner to the point where the cut is desired, hold Control and hit the V key, and you will create a cut. If you hold Control Shift V, you will create a cut through all tracks, no matter which one is focused. Setting your in marks and your out marks in Smoke is similar to most other nonlinear editors. Hitting the I key will set the in mark. Hitting the O key will set your out mark. To disable your in mark, your out mark, or both, there are 3 different shortcuts to do this. Hold the Option key and hit the I, and you will discard the in mark. Hold the Option key and hit the O key, and you will discard the out mark. Let me quickly hit I and O once again to set in and outs. Now if I hold the Option key and I hit the X key, I get rid of both my in and my out markers. Typical editorial functions such as insert, overwrite, and replace also have shortcuts that you can use. By selecting a clip inside your media library and setting up your in and outs with your I and your O keys once again, you can now use the shortcuts of F9 for insert, F10 for overwrite, and F11 for replace. So once again, my clip is selected, I have my in and out set, I hit F9. You'll notice that it is inserted into the timeline. F10, it is going to be an override action. Remember, when using these shortcuts, insert, override, and replace, if you do not want the audio from the source clip to be part of the edit, you can either lock the audio layer in the sequence or in the source tab. Whenever performing editorial tasks such as trims and roll edits, or just moving a clip in the timeline, always be aware if ripple is on or off, indicated by the blue highlight if they are on. Pressing the R key will toggle ripple on and off. Pressing the N key will toggle snap on and off. If the snap option is on or off and you start to make an adjustment and you want to disable it or enable it, you can hold the Shift key and it will temporarily turn snap off if it is currently on, or it will turn snap on if it is off. So for example, once again, snap is off. If I pick up this clip, I move it around, it is not snapping to anything. If I hold the Shift key, snap is now temporarily enabled and I can snap to the head of my clip. If snap is on and I want the snapping action to take place to the tail frame of my clip that I'm moving, I can pick up my clip and then hold the Control key. Now the clip will snap to the tail of the clip that I am moving. Once you start to move a clip, and if ripple is on and you want to disable ripple, hold the Option key and the ripple option will be disabled. And obviously, if ripple is off and I pick up a clip and start to manipulate it, and I hold the Alt key, you'll see the ripple option is temporarily turned on. Another shortcut that becomes very helpful when doing your editorial work is understanding how you can trim the head or the tail of a clip to the positioner. I'll zoom in here, and if I want to trim the head of this clip to the positioner, I can hold the E key and hit the down arrow key. If I move my positioner over here and select this clip, and now if I want to trim the tail of this clip to the positioner, I hold Shift E and hit the up arrow key. You can select a cut point and slip or slide that cut point to the positioner also. For example, if I bring my positioner here with this cut point selected and I want to slip my cut to the positioner, I hold the Shift D key and hit the up arrow key. If I want to slide my cut to the positioner, I hold the D key and hit the up arrow key. These are just some of the shortcut hotkeys that are available to you when you're doing your dynamic editing in Smoke 2013. For a full list of hotkeys, I highly recommend you going to the Help menu and going to the Smoke Help, which will open up the Wiki Help page for Smoke 2013. On the front page, under Reference, you'll see the keyboard shortcuts. Click on this, and this is going to bring you to a list of all the hotkeys available to you inside of Smoke 2013. Here are the editing ones, and as you can tell, we have just covered the basics of it. There are many more for you to learn. I recommend you printing this out and keeping it nearby your computer while you are learning and working in Smoke 2013.